Hello, Gemini Risings. For you, 2026 is all about redefining your friendships, your place in the community, and those big dreams you have for the future. With Saturn and Neptune moving through your 11th house, you will be figuring out who really gets you and which goals are actually worth your energy. So, this year, I am going to be talking about your astrological movements as well as tarot insights. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, again, we have that Saturn and Neptune going into Aries, which is your 11th house. Neptune will enter Aries January 27th, and Saturn will enter Aries February 15th. So, this is a significant year for redefining your friendships, social circles, and long term dreams. You may feel called to set, again, those boundaries in communities, blend vision with realism, and find deeper meaning in group connections. We will also have eclipse energy, and I'm not going to go too in depth because I will be making separate videos when the time comes for this eclipse, but we will have it in the 9th house of Aquarius and in the 4th house of Virgo. So with Aquarius in the 9th, that is going to be changes in your belief system, higher education, travel, or your approach to learning and sharing knowledge. And with the 4th house of Virgo, we will have shifts in the home, family, or any type of emotional roots. There's a potential also there for moves or some type of renovations or changes in family dynamics. Mercury is your chart ruler, so its retrogrades and transits are always going to be a pretty big deal for you, but it does move pretty quickly. So just pay attention to your communication style, how you learn, your daily mindset. If things feel a little bit scrambled at times, take a breath and double check those details and give yourself permission to slow down. So the first one we'll have here is Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, your 11th house of friendships, network, and your aspirations. So with that energy here, it's all about finding your people and chasing the dreams that actually mean something to you. And be mindful here as well, because if certain friendships or group ties feel like they're fading away, it may be time to let them go gracefully and with gratitude and focus on building connections that are both supportive and inspiring. This is a great time to set goals that motivate you and to not be afraid to dream outside the box, because 11th house is also about your dreams and hopes, as long as you've got a plan to back it up with Saturn. And a great way to use this energy would be to seek out supportive and authentic communities and really let go of anything that feels superficial or draining. With Saturn energy, you really want to blend practical planning with the open-minded, dreamy energy of Neptune when setting any type of goals. So our spiritual guidance here for this Saturn and Neptune transit, we have the 8 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Pentacles reversed, and the 7 of Pentacles reversed. So we have a lot of reversals here. And the 8 of Pentacles reversed can suggest that you might be feeling like you may be putting a little bit too much effort into friendships or into networks or group projects without seeing any type of payoff. So it can feel frustrating, kind of like you're spinning your wheels. And with Saturn entering in Aries, there's going to be a push for discipline and for structure. But with Neptune, that kind of adds a sense of uncertainty or fog. Some effort might feel unclear or confusing. And with the 2 of Pentacles reversed, that adds a sense of imbalance. So don't overextend yourself trying to juggle too much. This transit is really shaking up old routines in your social life or your long-term plans. And it's okay to pause instead of trying to keep everything perfectly in motion and moving. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles reverse, which tells me that this isn't really about quitting, but it's more about reevaluating what's worth your energy. Maybe some friendships or group goals aren't really going the way that you had hoped and planned, and that's perfectly okay. With Neptune here, it's really encouraging you to trust your intuition about those things that really matter. And Saturn is reminding you that effort should be something that's smart and not just constant. So the overall guidance here is to take a step back, evaluate your social and group commitments, and focus on things that actually aligns with your values and your own energy. And Saturn and Neptune in here are asking you to build something wisely and really take your time and trust that what's meant to grow will grow. Probably slower than you might like, but it will. And it's something that'll last. And then we will have the eclipse season, which I will go into more detail in another video that will be separate later on. But this is about learning, home, and shifts in your beliefs. So this could bring a total refreshing energy to how you see the world and, possibly even where you call home. So be open to learning new things or even traveling somewhere that changes your perspective, because this is the ninth house of higher learning, long distance travel, foreign lands, and then the fourth house of home. So our tarot guidance here is the Page of Swords reversed, Knight of Pentacles upright, and our Nine of Cups. So tying that in with the ninth house and the fourth house and the eclipse energy here, the first thing we're seeing is something about slowing down mentally, Gemini Risings. The Page of Swords reverse shows that your mind might be spinning with doubt or worry, anxiety, especially with anything related to your beliefs, your learning, or even big picture decisions, foreign travel. With the eclipse season, that can really stir up, again, like I mentioned, sudden shifts. And this card is basically saying not to rush to any type of conclusion or overanalyze everything right now. You really want to take your time to digest the things that are happening and shifting. The Knight of Pentacles brings in some grounding energy. This card is asking you to take small, steady steps in learning, travel, or expanding your worldview, or in making changes at your home. So slow and consistent is going to win here, this energy of the Knight of Pentacles, especially with the energy around you or anything that might feel unpredictable with the eclipse energy. Then we have the Nine of Cups that shows up. This is a very nice shift. The part of this eclipse that is about some type of emotional satisfaction. So Spirit is really encouraging you to pay attention to what truly makes you happy and fulfilled in life. And that's both in your inner life and in your external pursuits. So even small wins or moments of contentment really matter here. So the overall guidance for this eclipse energy is to slow down, take practical steps, and really take notice of little joys, those small victories along the way. Use this time to realign your beliefs and your home life with what really matters for you, what really feels good, without rushing or forcing any type of outcome. And on April the 27th, Uranus will be moving into Gemini, which is your first house. And Uranus is your sign to get ready for some surprises in how you see yourself and the way you show up in the world. This is your cosmic green light, really allowing you to experiment, change up your style, whether that's your hair or tattoos and stuff like that. I mean, I know that when Uranus went in I got my first tattoo, and to try different things, embrace your quirky side. This is really your year to stand out, and this is going to be a longer transit, about 7 years as well. So it's not something that's going to be straight away, but over the next 7 years, you might see a lot of shifts and sudden changes in how you express yourself, and whether that is physically or just the way that you communicate with others. So to work with Uranus here, you really want to embrace your uniqueness, to not be afraid to try out those new looks or even new hobbies, or just approaching life a little bit differently. Expect the unexpected, and flexibility will be your superpower, not only this year, but I think during the entire transit. And our spiritual insights here, we have the Chariot reverse, Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Cups reversed. The first thing here is about feeling a little off balance with your direction. With the Chariot reversed, you might feel like things aren't moving the way that you expect them to, or like you're not fully in control on how you are presenting yourself to others or how others are seeing you. Uranus is really shaking things up, and it's really pushing for a change in your identity and how you step into the world, and that can feel a bit destabilizing at first. And then we have the Ten of Swords that show show that potentially old versions of yourself or old patterns that weren't serving you are ready to fall away. So this could feel intense or even a little dramatic, but it is necessary here. So it is clearing space for a more authentic and liberated version of yourself. And with the Seven of Cups reversed, it really brings a more grounded energy to this. Spirit is really guiding you and giving you a nudge here to focus on what's real. So let go of any illusions, distractions, or the pressure to be everything at once. Or Uranus really wants you to experiment, but you don't need to chase every potential or every possibility. You really want to prioritize clarity over this energy of feeling overwhelmed. So the guidance for this transit is to allow old versions of yourself to let go, to be released, embrace the change in how you show up, and just focus on those things that truly matter to you. You don't have to have everything figured out all at once. This is a longer transit, so it's not saying that you have to have everything figured out right away. This is a process of discovering your authentic self and not an overnight thing. Next, on June the 30th, Jupiter will enter into the sign of Leo, and this is really going to bring growth and expansion and some energized Leo energy into your third house. With Jupiter lighting up your third house, it is time to say yes to learning, to connecting and sharing your ideas. This is a great year for building skills, meeting new people, whether it's neighbors or something more local, or even trying maybe some type of writing, maybe writing more, speaking more, or teaching. So don't be shy about putting yourself out there, which I'm pretty sure you're probably not with that Leo third house energy. But with Jupiter in there, there's really more luck on your side when you share things with your voice. So there are potential opportunities to learn and to connect and share those ideas, again, whether it's locally or online. There also may be some expansive shifts with siblings or neighbors. Those things may also play a role as well. So a great way to use this energy would be to say yes to any type of networking or short distance trips, any type of skill building courses. So that's more of your shorter courses, and really use your voice. So anything that has to do with writing, speaking, podcasting, social media, that can really bring, that luck, growth, and expansion. So if you have not tried anything like that, I think this would be a great time to give it a shot. And for this transit, I pulled our tarot insights here. So we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Pentacles reversed, and also the World reversed. What this feels like is a time to really reevaluate how you are expressing yourself and where you're putting your mental energy. Where is all the focus going? The Seven of Pentacles reversed shows that some things you've been working on, whether it's a project or learning something new or just your daily routines, might feel like they're not giving you the growth or that Leo recognition that you might have been expecting. So Spirit is really asking you to take a pause and ask yourself, what is worth your effort right now? Jupiter is here. It is about expansion, but it also wants you to focus on what truly adds value to your life and to your mind. And then with the Five of Pentacles reversed, this reminds you that even if things have felt isolating or unsupportive or challenging in your communication or in your learning space or even with siblings, there is help available because Jupiter in your third is going to expand those connections. So opportunities to collaborate or to share ideas or receive some type of support, that is coming. You just need to make sure that you're taking note of them. Notice those things. And the World reverse shows that things might not feel complete just yet, but that's the point here. So Jupiter in the third is here to help you stretch your perspective out and explore new ways of thinking, expand those skills. And it's less about finishing up everything, finishing up a project or trying to complete everything right away, and more about the process, that process of growth. So the guidance with this transit is to reevaluate where your mental energy goes, be open to support or collaboration, really pay attention to who's offering some help, and trust that expanding your mind and your communication skills is the real win here. It's just about opening and growing. It's a season of growth through learning and through curiosity and connecting more deeply with people and ideas, and whether that's local or through some type of online learning environment. And on October the 3rd, Venus will retrograde in Scorpio back into Libra. And that is going to be highlighting your sixth house and also the fifth house of Libra. Venus retrograde is your chance to hit the pause button and review how you're handling work, how you're handling health, and things that bring you joy, passion, as well as those things that bring you a sense of creativity. So if your daily routines or creative projects need a tweak, don't be afraid to change things up during this retrograde. Same goes for romance. Take time to check in with yourself and your heart before making any big decisions. You don't want to make any life-changing decisions during a retrograde. And our spiritual insight for this retrograde, we have the Knight of Swords, Nine of Cups reversed, and the Six of Cups. The first thing here is about taking a closer look at your routines and how they support or how they don't support your happiness. Because with the Knight of Swords, this shows that your mind might be racing. You might feel like you need to fix things quickly in your work or something to do with your health or daily habits. And Spirit is really saying to slow down a bit. Retrogrades are not about rushing forward. They're about taking a step back, reviewing, and reflecting. So you really want to use this energy to notice what's working and what isn't. And with the Nine of Cups reversed as well, this points to areas where you might not be feeling so satisfied. Maybe your routines are draining you, or your creative projects aren't giving you the joy that you expected. And Venus retrograde is asking you to notice things that truly fill you up. What brings you joy and happiness, rather than just going through the motions or doing things for others. And the Six of Cups is really bringing in that gentle reminder to reconnect with those things that bring you, simple or genuine joy. With this energy, there's also nostalgia here. So play or past creative passions might resurface now, showing you what really makes your heart happy. And Venus retrograde is a chance to blend that old joy with your current routines and your relationships. So finding ways to bring more pleasure and satisfaction into daily life is the overall energy here. The overall guidance for this transit is to take a stock of your habits and routines, notice what's not satisfying you, and reconnect with activities and creative projects that genuinely light you up. Slow, thoughtful reflections can now lead to more joy and balance once Venus goes direct. Thank you all for watching. Share your thoughts about this year's transits down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.